Have you ever felt it, that quiet feeling that someone is thinking about you, even when they act like they don't care? You might brush it off, telling yourself she's just being polite. But what if I told you that every small glance, every subtle smile, every little thing she does is proof that your name is constantly on her mind? Right now, while you're watching this, she could be replaying your words, your laughter, your presence over and over. And the truth is, if you notice just one of these hidden signs, you'll realize she's thinking about you nonstop, even when it seems like she isn't. Stick with me till the end, because missing this could mean missing the moment that changes everything. Comment below where you're watching from. And don't forget to subscribe. Let's uncover this together. You might think that when she seems distant or indifferent, there's nothing to read between the lines. You see her laugh politely at a joke or glance your way for a brief moment, and your mind tells you she doesn't care, she's just being friendly. But human behavior rarely works in such simple terms. Our minds are constantly betraying us in subtle ways, even when we're trying to hide our feelings. And in her case, those tiny gestures, the ones almost impossible to notice unless you're paying attention, are the very signs that she's thinking about you more than you realize. It begins with something as simple as eye contact. She doesn't stare, she doesn't make it obvious, but you catch those brief glances that feel almost accidental. That's not by chance. Our eyes are windows to our attention, and when someone's mind is occupied with you, their eyes will inevitably seek yours, even in fleeting, unconscious moments. It's in those seconds that her thoughts are drifting toward you, even when her lips say nothing. Then there's the way she mirrors your movements. Maybe she shifts her posture after you do, or laughs a fraction of a second after your laughter. These micro signals are fascinating because they reveal a psychological truth. We unconsciously imitate those who occupy our minds. If she's subtly echoing your gestures, it's not just coincidence. It's her mind syncing with yours, quietly, continuously, without her even realizing it. Even small, seemingly insignificant touches can carry immense meaning. A brush of the hand as she hands you something, a light touch on the shoulder during conversation. These moments are not mere accidents. They are subtle invitations, signals that she wants to feel close, to connect, and to leave an imprint of herself in your consciousness. The human brain craves connection, and through these delicate gestures, she's revealing her interest, even if she doesn't speak it out loud. What makes all of this even more powerful is the consistency. One glance, one mirrored gesture, or one fleeting touch might feel inconclusive. But when these behaviors appear repeatedly, patterns emerge. Patterns that point to a simple, undeniable truth. She is thinking about you nonstop. Her mind is circling back to moments with you, replaying conversations, imagining possibilities, and weighing how she feels about your presence. These tiny behaviors are the breadcrumbs she leaves if you know how to look. So the next time you think she doesn't like you, pause. Look closer. Notice the glances, the mirroring, the unspoken gestures. These are not coincidences. They are reflections of a mind quietly occupied by you. Understanding this is not just about seeing the signs, it's about appreciating the depth of human connection and the subtle ways emotions manifest. And if you allow yourself to see it clearly, you'll realize something profound. Someone can be thinking about you more than you've ever imagined. Quietly, persistently, and profoundly. It's one thing to notice subtle gestures, but it's another to truly recognize when someone is mentally and emotionally present with you. A woman may seem quiet, reserved, or even indifferent on the surface, yet her mind can be fully occupied by every word you say, every expression you make. The way she engages with you in conversation is often the most revealing indicator of her thoughts. When she listens with intention, when her responses feel carefully considered, that's not just politeness. It's proof that she's replaying your interactions in her mind, analyzing them, and storing every detail that matters to her. Notice how she remembers things you said in passing. Perhaps you mentioned a small detail about your day, a fleeting thought, or a dream you barely even acknowledged, and she brings it up later. That level of attention is rare. It requires conscious effort, yes, but even more importantly, it reflects an unconscious emotional pull toward you. Her brain is rehearsing these moments because she finds value, comfort, or curiosity in them. Every remembered detail is a thread connecting her thoughts to you, a quiet echo of her mind returning to you again and again. There's also the way she asks questions. It's not the kind of superficial small talk that fills silence. It's probing, thoughtful, and sometimes unexpectedly personal. She wants to understand your world, your feelings, your inner landscape. This kind of engagement is a hallmark of someone whose attention is focused not just on your presence, but on your essence. She's not merely listening to respond, she's listening to remember, to learn, to hold pieces of you in her mind even when you're gone. And beyond words, pay attention to the subtle emotional cues that accompany her listening. A tilt of the head, a pause that allows your words to resonate, a smile that lingers just a little longer than expected. These are indicators that she's processing more than the conversation itself. She's processing you. Psychologically, when someone is genuinely intrigued or emotionally invested, their mind stays active with thoughts of that person long after the encounter ends. She may not confess it, but her emotional and mental engagement speaks volumes. The power of this lies in its consistency. One thoughtful question or a single memory recalled might seem coincidental. But when these patterns persist, when she continually demonstrates care, curiosity, and attention, it reveals a profound truth. She's thinking about you deeply and constantly. It's not about grand gestures or declarations. It's in the details, the quiet moments, the mental footprints she leaves behind. So the next time you question her interest, observe closely how she interacts with you. Notice the way her mind lingers on your words, how she remembers, and how her emotional presence colors every interaction. These are not casual signs. They are windows into the depth of her attention, proof that your presence occupies her thoughts in ways that go far beyond what you see. And if you truly pay attention, you'll realize something remarkable. Someone's mind can hold you in its orbit quietly, persistently, and profoundly, even when their lips remain silent. When you start to recognize patterns over time, the picture becomes undeniably clear. One fleeting glance, one subtle gesture, or a single thoughtful word might feel random. But when these moments repeat consistently, when they appear over days, weeks, or even months, it reveals something far deeper, a mind quietly occupied with you, returning to your presence again and again. Patterns are not coincidences, they are the brain's way of signaling what truly matters. And when it comes to someone thinking about you nonstop, the accumulation of small, seemingly insignificant acts becomes the most powerful evidence. Consider the way she communicates. Maybe she sends a text or message without any specific reason, or reaches out to share something she knows will make you smile. Perhaps she initiates conversations about things that matter to you, even if they seem trivial to others. These repeated behaviors show intentionality, but more importantly, they reveal a mind that is looping through thoughts of you, seeking connection and craving presence. This is the quiet, relentless thinking that doesn't announce itself loudly. It shows up in consistent patterns over time. Proximity and timing are also part of these patterns. You might notice she finds herself near you more often than by chance, or shows up in moments that feel almost synchronistic. These are not accidents. Human behavior often follows unconscious desires. She may not even realize the choices she's making, but her mind is drawn to your energy and her actions naturally reflect that pull. Observing these repeated patterns can give you a level of clarity that words alone never will. Even nonverbal cues play a role. Watch the way her body language shifts when you're around. Does she lean slightly closer, adjust her posture toward you, or display subtle signs of attentiveness? Each small, consistent gesture is like a footprint, tracing the path of her mind back to you. Over time, these micro movements accumulate into a story that reveals her inner world, her attention, and her emotional presence. It's in the consistency, in the repetition, that the truth becomes visible. The beauty of patterns is that they leave no room for doubt. While one gesture can be dismissed, repeated gestures cannot. They form a language of their own, a silent narrative that tells you she is thinking about you deeply and persistently. Recognizing this requires patience, attention, and emotional intelligence. It's not about overanalyzing or projecting. It's about observing the recurring signs that speak louder than words ever could. So, when you step back and take a careful look at these patterns, how she communicates, how she positions herself, how she consistently shows attention, you begin to understand a profound truth: her mind is with you, even when her words are absent. And that understanding is transformative because it shifts the way you perceive connection. Patterns reveal not just her thoughts, they reveal her heart. And if you pay attention, you'll see that someone thinking about you nonstop isn't just a possibility. It's a reality quietly unfolding in ways you may have overlooked.